All right, let's talk a little bit about robot-computer communication and how actions that are being sent to the robot get executed, especially in this real-time aspect. All right, so Machina is asynchronous, which means that whenever you create an action and you send it to the robot, it will take the robot some time to execute, right? But in the meantime, we will still be able to work with Machina. So how does that happen? Well, if we look on the interface, you can see that here on the left-hand side, there's this window that is called the queue. And the queue is a visual representation of everything that we have sent to the robot and that is pending being executed. So for example, if I go to the console and I type move 50x00 and I close parentheses, I can see that the robot starts moving in the x direction. But on the queue, this action showed up that was yellow, and then it turned green once the action was completed. All right. In the meantime, I could use Machina, but what this means is that the queue is always going to give us a visual representation of everything that is pending execution. And execution is always going to be sequential. Everything that it gets sent first gets executed first, and then everything that comes afterwards gets stacked and gets on the line being pending execution. All right. So I can do that. So I can do that for single actions. But if I go to the console and I press the arrow key, I can repeat the same command that I had before. So if I press enter, I send the same thing again, but I can send it many, many times. So if I do action, 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 you guys can see that, I had a typo there. All right, you can see that I sent 5 actions at the same time, and the red one is telling me which action is being executed at each moment. All right, be careful, because Machina will not prevent you from moving the robot too far away, out of reach, and you may reach a position where the robot gets blocked because it's too far away. All right, so I'm going to move it back in the same direction. Sorry, minus x, minus 50 units back. All right, and I'm going to do it up, 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 repeating the same action many times. All right, so I can do the same action over and over by going up and down in the console. I can go through my history of the things that I've sent, but I can also send blocks of actions. All right, so let's say that I wanted to trace a vertical square like this. All right, what I would do is, like, I move an x, negative z, negative x, and positive z. Right, so I can say, for example, let's move 100 units in x direction, but now instead of pressing enter, which would send the action right away, what I can do is I can deactivate here send on enter, so that now as I press enter, I get a new line in which I can say, well, now I'm going to move minus 100 in z. In z, I'm going to move minus 100 in x, and now I'm going to move 100 in z. Up. All right? All right. So I'm ready to send this block of 4 actions. I can either do that by pressing the send button here, all right? Or, as you see on the tooltip, I can alternatively just press Control Enter, and then that will send the whole thing as a batch, all right? And you see that the robot starts moving in X, and then it's going to do, let's repeat the same thing. I'm going to go up, but now I'm going to add a speed to 100 units to make things faster. And I'm going to send the same program again by doing Control Enter. I buffer, I queue this program, and you can see that now the square is being drawn much faster. All right? All right, so that's how you send blocks of programs. What I can do as well is I can say, well, I did like this program, so I can copy this, and I can open a new text editor, for example, like Atom. I like Atom a lot. It's free, it's open source. And then something that I can do is I can say, well, let me just copy here. Let me just copy here the program that I just created. All right. I can perhaps make modifications to the program, right? And then I'm going to do it much faster. And then I'm going to copy paste the whole thing. And not enter, but in this time, Control Enter, and now I'm drawing a smaller square, but it's much faster. All right, and I have my program here that I can always copy paste and reuse, or I can go up and down over my history of commands in the console. All right.